Good morning and happy Thursday, August 17th. It's Thirsty Thursday. That's Doug's favorite night of the week. We'll see what plans he's got in store. Speaking of which, we got an alcohol article later today, a late breaking, broken June, 2 months ago, development about drinking, possible health benefit of drinking, which is not really the tone of the recent news about alcohol. Anyway, we'll get to that all in a little bit. Good stuff today. Doug is being added now into Instagram, and then we will kick this thing off. The last show of the week, best day of the week, some would say, especially for me, because I leave on a trip right after the show. That's why we're doing the early hour.
Okay. Matt, I think it's more Thirsty Thursday for you this weekend than it is for me.
I don't think it will be for me. I've been extreme limiting alcohol. I haven't had it in quite a while since I've been sick.
But how likely do you think once you're with the group and you're
for sure
there?
I'll drink beer with them because my intention is not to be a non-drinker. It is just to be really what I said is I'd like to do is just be a not at home drinker because I don't go out all that much. So then I don't have a drinking habit, right? I don't want to have it. I'm okay with being a light drinker. I don't want to be a habitual drinker where I in control or out of control. I guess that's questionable. But where there's this sort of compulsion every day to have that drink at the end of the day, I'd like to just be done with that. That'd be pretty good for my health, I think. So
that's kind of where I've landed too. With some success, more success, it appears when I'm not traveling than when I am traveling, because these beach trips and stuff like that, not so much. But this week after coming home, I was ready for a little break from alcohol, and it was just an easy thing to do, just not drink at home.
Yeah, it's like the don't eat meat at home when you're trying to go vegetarian or vegan. It does seem like a pretty easy step.
At home sober.
Yeah, we'll see. Some people I think would say if you do any amount of drinking at all, it will gradually increase and eventually it will creep back into your house. I think that's what the typical thinking about drinking as far as addiction goes. But we'll see. We'll see if that is true or not for both of us. So anyway, I'll have some beers, but probably fewer than in other years. Just I don't know, just a little less of an appetite for it right now.
I mean, I can say that after that 21-day challenge, just kind of resetting that habit, that's been a lasting change for me. Yeah. I mean, I'm not seeing any rules, but I'm drinking way less than I was beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Good. I think that's kind of the ideal.
Yeah. Speaking of drinks, I saw that Steven, who's here today in the show, is now working at a bar, which is cool.
Oh, yeah?
Beers. Yeah.
When did he quit his airline job? I think maybe I heard rumblings of that.
I don't think he did. I think he's got two jobs.
Doing both.
Wanted a little extra gig.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I like it. Double threat guy. He says, "Are 0% drinks still allowed at home?" Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I'm just like your friend Doug. I somehow have lost with the losing of interest in alcohol in general. I had even less interest in the alcohol-free drinks. I thought about bringing him on this trip, and I was like, I just don't want that. I would just rather drink water when I'm not drinking real beer. But yeah, it would be allowed, just not priority.
Is this group a liquor group, like a bourbon group or something?
There's one night of the trip that is like the bourbon night that people do. I don't really partake very much at all because I don't like it. But not so much. I mean, it's mostly beer.
Yeah,
they keep it light. Another drink, Doug, not alcoholic, but I got a new coffee method in the house. I don't know what number it is, but I added when I was in Italy. I could not resist in the Bialetti store, which is the mocha pot, famous designer. I've been in Italy a little bit and have never seen these stores, but all 3 cities in northern Italy that I was in had a Bialetti shop, and I could not resist going in there and checking it out. Also, Sweden, I think, is big time per capita coffee consumption country. And the coffee shop near our apartment had next to it an entire coffee method store that had all these different plug-in espresso machines and things, but also a ton of different things. They had several Bialetti methods, including one that just pours out of 2 little spouts, the same sort of method, but pours it into 2 espresso cups, which I think doesn't work that well is what I kind of read about it. So I didn't get that one. But anyway, I just got the classic mocha pot, which I had a long time ago. Apparently it's romantically on every kitchen in Italy. It has one of these things or at least did. Maybe the heyday is past, because now Bialetti's got the their version of the Nespresso, which they pour you for free if you go in the shops. And that was nice. Yeah. So anyway, I said, if it's on every kitchen in Italy, I gotta have that, or in every kitchen in Italy. It must be in my kitchen too. And I got one and got some little cups for it, because that's what they drink there, is these tiny little, they're like espressos. It's not really espresso, but it's an espresso simulator. And I've been having that a little bit, not every day, but here and there. And
your thoughts?
It's good. I had one a long time ago, like 15, 20 years ago. And I never really liked it. I never really made it very successfully. And I think I was making a big mistake of not putting boiling water into the machine. So I was letting the device. So I was letting the thing heat up on the stove, and that would basically be cooking my ground coffee before the water would get to it. And it never tasted very good. It's been much better since I've kind of read how to actually do it.
Okay. I'm a huge fan of the Mocha Pot. And was using that exclusively for, I don't know, maybe a year and a half at least. And then one day I left it on the stove by accident, and it burned the bottom, and like burned the inside of the bottom because all the water had evaporated.
Right.
And it ruined the taste, and I never bought a new one. But I think they're great.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're just real easy.
My biggest problem with it, I think we talked about this one time, that it was sort of cool how, like, Italians, they go to their bar, what's they call it, the coffee espresso bar. They go up, they order their drink, and they just drink it really fast. It's not a sit there and spend the morning drinking your coffee. But I actually like to spend the morning drinking your coffee. So the Mocha Pot doesn't really make enough quantity. It concentrates it. And it's hard.
Well, you can make it a little kind of an Americano-esque, right? Add a little water.
You could do that. You could. If I was going to do that, I would just do pour over, though. I don't know. If I'm going to have that, I want the little espresso cup. So it's just not an everyday morning thing. It's nice.
Or make yourself a latte, sometimes.
I can also do that.
Get it going.
Could do that. You know what we did the other night, though? When I was in Denmark, in Copenhagen, we found an Italian restaurant that was all vegan. And it was gourmet, delicious food. It was so, so good. And there really wasn't that much vegan food up in Scandinavia at all. But this Italian place was incredibly good. And what they served for the dessert was just a simple, I think it was oat milk, vanilla ice cream scoop with espresso poured over top of it, cold espresso, so that it was not melting the ice cream. And it was just the best dessert I've ever had. So we made that the other night. We have an ice cream maker. They made that with cashews, I think, Aaron and Ellery. And then I made some Mocha Pot espresso, cooled it down, and had a nice little espresso dessert. It was actually very delicious.
For our minimalist correspondent here, you sure have a lot of things.
I have a ton of coffee things, of course, and then kitchen gadgets. Yeah, you know what? Like, I was minimalist until we moved into a house that had room to hold the stuff, and now I'm like, well, why not? Same with my gym equipment. It was like I don't know. I used to be just have one kettlebell, but then once I had room for it, why not?
Yeah, I guess so. Why not? That's how it starts, and then
right. Yeah.
I got a little coffee.
All right. What do you got?
Are you much of an iced coffee drinker?
If I'm in like a really hot weather place, like if I go to Florida in summer, it's good there. I like it there. Fits the vibe for me.
Yeah, I've never really sometimes if I was doing like a late morning second cup of coffee, I was at a coffee shop during the summer or something like that. Maybe I would do a iced coffee then, but never been much of an iced coffee person. But the house we were staying at the beach, the only thing they had was what do you call it? Were the pods?
Nespresso.
Keurig. But they didn't come with any pods, so I wasn't about to go out and buy a bunch of pods. So I bought some jugs of pre-made iced coffee and just sipped on that all week, and it was kind of nice.
Yeah, that is nice. Is it like cold brew coffee, or they just ice it down? Okay.
Yeah, cold brew, and then I would throw some ice in there. But you could buy it by the jug, like the gallon jug.
Right. I mean, that's how I am. If you go on vacation, you change your environment a little bit. It's nice to have iced coffee. It just feels like something different. But I just would never do it every day at home, even when it's hot. Just not quite.
It didn't give that sipping experience. All right, so we have a couple people here who we haven't seen in a while. Allie, Matt O'Connor, Stephen Dunn. Welcome back, Stephen.
Yep.
Carmen.
Yeah, different names today. Carmen's names. Anne Marie's over here. But some different ones.
Nice to see people here. And then Steven asks, have you, what was it? Oh, I lost it.
I put it up. Did you learn about fika in Swedish? And I'm looking it
What's
up. No,
fika?
in Sweden. No, I did not. It is a relaxing coffee and cake break.
Oh,
No, sounds
sounds
pretty
nice.
nice. Yeah.
Add a nap in there and you got a
Or
coffee
coffee
nap.
with a cinnamon bun, maybe sometimes they say. Like IKEA style. IKEA serves cinnamon buns, right?
I don't know.
I think they do. Anyway, I don't know what time that fika is, but no one mentioned fika when I was there. I don't think. I did learn all about hygge, which is that Danish thing, HYGGE. It's in the blue zones of happiness. It's where it's their like comfort thing. They all have a room that's for that, and I don't know. Learned a lot about it. Didn't really ever see it in action, but
didn't participate.
Didn't go to anybody's house and play a board game in their little room.
It's too bad. Too bad.
Yeah. But anyway, that's one of the reasons the Danish are the happiest in the world, apparently.
Steven says that employees will have a contractual fika at work, mandatory coffee and treat break.
Oh, wow. Well, good for them.
Does the employer pay for the coffee and treat?
Sure they do. It's part of the contract.
Sounds pretty sweet.
Yeah.
We got to get fika in at Compliment.
Yeah, maybe.
Speaking of Compliment, they sponsor the show. We haven't given them much of a shout out recently.
Much. Nope.
Head over to lovecompliment.com. Get all of your nutritional needs. I don't know.
Not all of your nutritional needs, just some.
Not all. just filling the nutritional needs that your plant foods aren't already taken care of, right?
Yeah, that's right.
How did you compliment today, Matt?
I packed a bunch of Compliment essential pills into my luggage so that I would have 3 each day on my trip.
Excellent.
And also some right now Compliment's out of omega-3, so I've been using a different brand, which I will not reveal what that brand is, but we're waiting for our omega-3, which will now be in capsule form, to come back, and that will be good.
Yeah.
So I would have done that if we had that. How about you? What did you do today? Little green drink?
I took my Compliment Essential and then had some Compliment Protein in my smoothie. No greens today. No greens or hydrate today.
Okay.
And Marie just had her greens, Gut Nurture and Essential. All right. Excellent.
Good. Product placement ad. I like it. Native advertising. All right. Let's get to what we've got today. Our show topics. I do actually have a little bit of a lengthy weather report today, which should be fun.
I know. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll try to not spend too long on any one topic, but here we go. This was kicking off with a fun one here on August 17th. Slovenian food tech Juicy Marbles, who we've heard of before because they made the plant-based filet mignon that was famous last year. They also made the largest piece of plant muscle ever conceived. I don't know what that story was, but they've got a new one, and it's bone-in ribs. And these bones that they are making are edible with the ribs. The ribs are a soy product. The bones that hold them together, basically scaffolding, you can eat. Which is a little weird, I thought, because it's
huge fail, right? I mean, that makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
If you want bones, if you want like the bone eating or like the rib eating experience with bones, like you don't want to eat the bone. That defeats the whole purpose.
Right, exactly. And they kind of talked about the incentive motivation here. Apparently, they were trying to make just a compostable bone, but then they realized that they could be eaten. So they said, well, we might as well just capitalize on that. But here's the thing. They say after eating the ribs, the bones can be turned into puffed, crispy snacks with the same protein content as beef jerky using baking, frying, or air frying methods, because they're just made from plant protein. That's all the ribs are made of, or the ribs themselves. Actually, no, I might be wrong about that. Actually, I don't know what the bones are made out of. I tried to figure that out. It's not clear to me whether the ribs or the bones are protein, but if it has the same protein content as beef jerky, you have to imagine that there's not much else in these bones except for protein. They mentioned like potentially adding flavors and things to these so that you could cook them into a broth or something, which is then like an actual use of real bones. Right? People save them.
Right.
I guess they might eat the marrow out of it. So maybe people do eat the bones, but I don't think they eat all the bone. For sure. I mean, dogs eat entire bones.
Definitely not.
I don't think people do.
No.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, like if you could repurpose the bones, right, to make a broth, that would be cool. Make vegan bone broth.
Yeah, right. That would be cool. All right, Doug. So what's the dumber innovation? This or the Beyond Stack Burger?
Well, the stack burger isn't innovation. It's a new mold.
It was It's a new marketing phrase is all it is.
Yeah. I don't even know if it's a new mold. Yeah. So this is well, okay. How about we do a dumber marketing strategy? Edible bones or a stackable burgers. I'm gonna stick with stackable burgers as being a worse idea.
Okay. Look at this. We haven't even mentioned Oatly, and we're talking about dumb marketing things. They stay out of it for once. Good.
I don't know, man. Any of these companies have to do. This is the problem with the vegan company movement. All they have to do is call us up. We'll be consultants.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say all I have to do is focus on making actual normal food that is good.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Not marketing crazy stuff. It doesn't make sense to me.
No, they gotta call us up.
I think they're grasping. I think the industry is in free fall, and they're just don't know what to do. No. That's my guess.
We'll offer our services for only 1% of your company.
Yeah, just send us stuff. That's what we want.
Stuff. Yeah, that's right. All we need is samples, really.
Yeah, right. All right, so that's that one. This sounds Oatly-esque, but it's not Oatly. First of all, weird article here. The article that I found led with 7 in 10 meat and dairy eaters say they could never go vegan, as the same number feel cheese is a key part of their diet. And this is from a UK publication talking about UK people. This is the lead-in to an article saying that there's a new vegan sponsorship on a soccer team at Cheddar AFC. That's CHEDDAR, where the famous cheese is matured in caves. So it's named the cheddar cheese, I guess, is named after Cheddar, the place. But it's in Somerset, Cheddar Somerset in the UK. And this team is sponsored now by Cheddarton, a dairy-free cheddar alternative that is made by Violife. So they've taken over the soccer team. They've got a whole cheesy new soccer kit, and they're going to be doing training with some plant-based, with some plant-based athletes. So this very much to me looks like an Oatly move, but it's not. Oatly's maybe taking our advice and staying out of these dumb marketing gimmicks. Although this is kind of cool. I don't mind that they're sponsoring. Yeah,
what's dumb about this? I have no problem with that.
They're kind of making a fool out of the team. If you look at the pictures, I don't have it in front of me, but the picture of the kit is all covered in cheese. It doesn't look like a serious soccer team. And I don't know if it is a serious soccer team. But it's got to be a little bit serious. I'm sure in their leagues. I'm sure the people playing on it think it's serious. What
was their old kit like? I mean, have they always leaned into the cheesy stuff?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know much about them. Or I don't know anything about them. Maybe Steven could tell us. Anyway, but they're not the only club that has a new vegan sponsor. Dr. Vegan is now the official supplement partner of Forest Green Rovers. So I guess that's a competing vegan company that I didn't know about. Do you know about them? Are they in our competitor analysis landscape? Dr. Vegan?
No, I don't know. No? Never heard of them.
They're making moves, so we better figure out who they are, because they're sponsored the Forest Green Rovers, who I have heard of before for sure. That might be that vegan soccer club that one of our listeners lives really close to. I think it is actually. Yeah, a vegan and carbon neutral football club whose chairman is Dale Vince of Ecotricity. Anyway, FIFA described them as the greenest team in the world. So players now get their supplements and some advice from their nutritionists and all that.
Wow. Dr. Vegan making moves.
Really. And then Denmark's Naturely became the official plant-based partner of another British club, Brentford FC. I didn't know about that one. That was earlier. So anyway, this is kind of a thing now, these vegan soccer clubs or vegan-sponsored soccer clubs. I mentioned Holden's team played against a team from Atlanta that had the Switch for Good was their title uniform sponsor. Yeah. So it's a thing. I don't know.
Who's Holden's title uniform sponsor?
Well, Ally's the first team kits. I think theirs is Lexus, maybe. I should know this. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's Lexus. At least it was last year. Okay. Anyway, that's that one, and we moving on here. 2 more. Mark Zuckerberg fighting Elon Musk, right? We know that one. We've never acknowledged it yet on the show, but that's, I guess, happening for real on August 26th. I can't believe that's actually happening. But anyway, Veg News has reported what he says he's eating from McDonald's after all of his workouts. So they don't say if it's all the time or what, but he eats 20 nuggets, a quarter pounder, large fries, an Oreo McFlurry, an apple pie, and maybe some side cheeseburgers for later. And,
what? He eats that?
He eats that after his jujitsu workouts.
Oh my gosh.
And I think he thinks it's really good for him. Someone, UFC fighter Mike Davis, he chimed in and said, "You're in training camp, no McDonald's." And Zuckerberg responded that he was using the fast food to refuel. He said, "Not cutting weight, so I need about 4,000 calories a day to offset all the activity, and it's so delicious." I think Zuck doesn't really know what's going on here. I mean, I don't think you need 4,000 calories. I don't think he's burning 4,000 calories a day in his workouts. I don't know for sure, but it's hard for me to imagine that he is. And
he is fit, man. He looks good.
Is he?
Oh yeah.
No, good. But I mean, you must know that there are better, more disciplined choices you can make to eat your 4,000 calories that would do a whole lot more for you. I mean, this could put you in the wrong direction. All that junk.
Oh yeah.
The vegan stuff aside, I'm not talking about the meat. I'm just talking about
the Oreo McFlurry,
junk. Yeah,
apple
sugar.
pie.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there is a time and place, and after workouts is one when you can get away with more stuff like that. But it's also an opportunity to refuel. So doesn't seem like he's going about that right. So my money's on Musk here. I don't know anything about Musk's condition or what he eats, but just based on that, I'm saying him.
I just Googled it to see if this fight was still on, and apparently Elon has been calling for a practice fight in his backyard, and Zuckerberg says it's time to move on because Elon is clearly not serious.
Okay.
So
well,
maybe it's all big.
Does Elon do? Does he do any kind of training?
He's I think in some sort of martial arts. He
does. Okay. Because I was gonna say if he didn't do anything like that, then I'd say for sure Zuckerberg would win with BJJ training. But what do you think he's done for a while?
No, I think that Musk is trained in some sort of martial arts.
Well, I hope this fight happens. I would love to see it.
It would be something, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right, and last one, more serious. A new study has shown or found that adopting a healthy plant-based diet can slow down the human body's aging process. Couple caveats here. This is a new biomarker they developed, MD-AGE. Actually, I don't know if they developed it, but it's a new one. So we don't know if it's a proven biomarker of aging, but it's new, latest technology or whatever, frontier. And they said people with high or medium trajectories as far as how fast they were aging, they had a higher risk of death than those in the slow group. And the study found that individuals who followed an overall plant-based dietary pattern were less likely to be in those high or medium aging trajectories. Other caveat here is that it was done on a large group of Asian participants. And, I think Asian diets are typically lower in meat historically. Some fish for sure, but very possible that, the way that their bodies have evolved is to better handle plant-based diets than maybe a Westerner. I don't really know. No idea. Just pointing that out. This is not like a, all different, what is it? Genotypes, Doug? I don't know that word here. We're just looking at one group of people.
Right.
So more work needs to be done.
Yeah. What did we talk? What were we? Eat like your ancestors, not like a caveman, but like what was it you were talking about?
I think I've seen that a couple places now. Longo is one of the ones who promotes this idea that you should choose from the foods that your actual ancestors chose from. Doesn't mean you should eat the way they did, because they didn't necessarily know what to eat either, and they weren't necessarily making their choices. But like you should limit your possible foods to what was their possible foods. That's that thinking, and I don't know if it's totally true. Some of it makes sense to me, and some of it there's clear evidence that it's true. But I don't know how strictly we need to be doing it.
Do you think Zuckerberg's ancestors ate 20 nuggets, a quarter pounder of large fries, Oreo McFlurry, and an apple pie?
I have no idea. Maybe recent ancestors did, but probably not. Probably not before 1950. Unlikely. Yeah. All right. So there you go. There's your weather report. A little long, like I said, but good.
Your weather report
today. And as promised, I got this one article on alcohol. Not much else. I realized I totally forgotten about Best Life Online and Eat This. So I thought, I'm going to go over there. I haven't looked at those things in 2 months, and I'm going to find all kinds of good things. I couldn't find one article worth talking about. It was the same stuff about how to make your walk more enjoyable, or stop doing these things after 50 years old, or here's what drinking wine every day does your body, or it's all that stuff, according to doctors. So
yeah, according to experts.
couldn't find anything. So anyway, I did find this one, and it's not new. I don't know where I found it. Some other article led me to it. But there was a research that was done, a study in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology. So this is a big one. Researchers at the Massachusetts General Hospital, they explained one reason why alcohol might be linked to better heart health. It reduces stress signals in the brain in a sustained way. This is from the Time magazine article titled "Alcohol Might Improve Heart Health by Reducing Your Stress."
Experts say.
Does it say that? No, it doesn't. Anyway, the context here, I think, as everyone knows, there's this growing sentiment that alcohol is not a health food. We've kind of been lied to, or been lying to ourselves over the past, whatever it's been, 40 years, that alcohol, a little bit of alcohol is good for us, actually is part of a healthy diet. Even the Blue Zone stuff kind of talks around that. They say, don't start drinking if you don't currently, but that's like one line in the book. And the rest of it is about, wine at 5 is one of their Blue Zone's pillars. And like, it's, and there are good things associated with wine drinking, that when you do it the way these people do in these Blue Zones, it's with people, it's over a meal that takes a long time, you're sitting, you're relaxing. And so that's possible, actually, that kind of agrees with this research, that what it does here, and they didn't talk about the way people are drinking like that, but what they found is that it first of all, they looked at 1,000 participants in this large database, I think of 5 or 50,000 people, and I'm not sure how they picked these 1,000, but they found that the light to moderate drinkers, that they actually had I think it was like a 22% reduction in cardiac events that happened. So that's a pretty big amount. And then when they looked at people who had prior anxiety, they had a 40% reduction in heart disease. So that's a massive difference. And this is just from light to moderate drinking, which I don't know the exact.
Did they define that?
They probably did in the actual study. I don't have the actual study in front of me this second. I did glance at it earlier. But anyway, and then they said, okay, so why could that be happening? And the mechanism that they think is doing it is that it is the drinking of the alcohol is easing the amygdala's alarm effect. So this amygdala, which I think is the lizard brain, the thing that just kind of panics and instinctively sends out signals, and it's where your stress originates, basically. It basically is dampening the activity there, which I guess is good. I mean, that amygdala is supposed to do stuff, so it's not necessarily good to dampen it. But our modern world, as we always say, is not really the one that that amygdala evolved in. So we probably have a lot more stress happening from food and 5G and whatever else. I don't know about 5G. Just throw it in there.
Oh man, we're not a 5G podcast. Come
on. But whatever, we got cell phone signals and all kinds of Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. There's all kinds of stuff going on. So it's possible that we are having more stress in our bodies than we used to.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyway, so you dampen that, and apparently the heart disease that comes with stress goes down as well. And that's it. That's the story here. There's more work to be done, obviously. I think they're looking for a pharmacological solution that isn't alcohol, because the person in charge of the study says, if I can find it, 1 second. I had this quote right in front of me. Okay, he says, I know that a lot of people will hear that and say, well, I'm anxious. That's why I drink. I guess there's a benefit. He adds. But there is no safe quantity of alcohol. So he's digging up that one, which went around the media a few years ago. And where does that come from? Is there a safe level of driving? No. Also, there's not a safe level of that either, right? There is always some risk with it. And it's not a hockey stick effect that happens. That's what they mean by no safe level. It's not like there's some point where nothing happens and then suddenly exponential increase in risk happens. It's just a linear relationship all the way from zero, just like with driving. Where there in that way there is no safe level at which you can be sure you're safe under this. So that's true, but I don't know. I don't like that he's just throwing that out there. Because
I mean, okay, so I got a couple issues with this, and I love alcohol. Like,
right?
No secret here. I'm not anti-alcohol.
No, you're not.
But okay, I guess maybe in low consumption might not contribute to additional stress, but oftentimes alcohol can contribute to additional stress by
Right.
making sleep worse and doing all kinds of other negative impacts of your health
Yeah.
and just how you feel. And so then you get more stressed because you're more tired and you're more whatever hungover, and so it will
And
quickly turn
anxiety
into
as
the opposite.
well, right? Alcohol
And
is
anxiety, right?
linked to
Yeah,
anxiety, and they said that this is especially good for people who have anxiety. So it's an interesting
yeah,
thing.
right, exactly.
But they're still observing the effect, right? So like it's not like they're observing an increase in stress among the alcohol drinkers. The net, even after that happens, they're still observing that there's a decreased amount of stress
Yeah, I guess at this like low to moderate level, right? I mean, it
at the
must
low to
be.
moderate, right? Right.
Yeah,
So they didn't say what happens to the high amount, and then we need to know really what is low to moderate here.
right. I mean,
Uh,
is low to moderate like 1 drink a week?
yeah, I might be able to find that while we're talking. Uh,
Okay. Because I'm also gonna say, there's a lot of other things like, I don't know, opioids probably reduce stress, right? Like,
right.
you know,
Yeah, I
have
mean, I think cigarettes probably reduce stress in the moment.
cigarettes. There's lots of things you can do that will probably have that same impact on your anxiety levels, which would then improve your heart levels, but will kill you in many many other ways. And so I
Right.
just I'm way past to the point of reading a headline like this or an article like this and thinking, yeah, it's a good
Mm. Yeah.
reason to drink.
Right. Right.
I used to do that for
Yeah.
sure.
I know. I think we all did, and then we gradually get smarter.
Hmm.
Um. Yeah. That for sure, and that's what the guy's saying. I think he's saying this does not mean that you should start drinking, but to me, like this finding a 22% decrease in heart risk, and maybe up to 40% if you have prior anxiety. That's going to outweigh, if you're talking light to moderate, that I think far outweighs the risks that are associated with that level of drinking. As far, I don't think you have a 20 to 40% increase in like, you know, anything when at those light levels drinking. I know there's increased cancer risk and there's other problems and there's drunk driving and all that stuff, but I just feel like this is a much larger in magnitude, change than
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I feel like but this is only one thing. It's not a bunch of studies like all the anti-alcohol research is based on. That's many meta-analyses and things saying it's bad. So we would need definitely more than this before we should start drinking, I think, for health reasons.
Hmm.
Okay, here I found the numbers. Less than one a week is light, or that's non-minimal. 1 to 14 is light or moderate, which
1 to
is kind of
14.
a week. So two a day.
That's a
And that's,
lot.
yeah, it kind of is a lot. Once you get over 14, that's always classified as heavy drinking. So this is the same kind of scale there. And over 14 would put you in the high group. Yeah, it is a lot. And yeah, I don't know. So you got to imagine the place to be is in the, I don't know, below 7. I think I've heard
Right.
Longo say below 5, which is tough. If you're going to have any amount of extra drinks at all on weekends, you're basically not touching alcohol the rest of the week if you want to be under 5. So, but yeah, I think that's the place to be. Maybe you can get the best of both worlds. Maybe you get the benefit of this anti-stress thing.
Hmm.
You stay under the well, there is no safe level, but you stay out of the major risk zone.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Interesting. I love alcohol studies. I don't know why, but they're always fun.
They are fun.
I think because it's comes with this. Well, I don't know. I don't even know if it's pleasure now, but it's this like forbidden fruit thing, and the idea that it might be good is tantalizing. That it might be healthy for us. I don't know.
I want to know where the corn chip studies are.
You're right. Well, we saw one yesterday. Well, we saw how they were produced.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah. Well, every now and then I think Best Life Online will tell us that those are one of the bad snacks we can have. But
I mean, they can't be. I mean, there's not much nutrition in corn, right?
I don't think so. Just some carbohydrates, starch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Although that's a Buzon's food in Costa Rica.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Nasoya. I don't know how to say that, but corn staple food there. All right. Let's see. Anything worth getting into with comments? No. People are talking about Zuckerberg. Steven feels bad for his plumber, and Connor says your nutrition choices are lacking when a UFC fighter calls you out. Yeah. So, okay. Well, I don't know. I guess that brings us to the end of our show and our week. Short one today, which is fine with me. I'm getting on the road. I'm going to my golf tournament, golf event.
Oh yeah, how did final preps go? Are you going to be stopping on a
I'm not gonna stop another range. I went to a range yesterday, hit balls for a while badly, and then I switched drivers. I have another driver in my bag that doesn't hit the ball as far, but I feel like it's just a little more under control. I switched that, and I started actually hitting pretty well. And then I said I had like 20 or 30 balls left, and I was like, when I hit one more good one, I'm out of here. I'm just done. Never got another good one. The whole 20, 30 balls. I wanted to end on a good note and just leave that as my lasting memory. But I never hit another good one. There was 20 bad balls in a row after that I hit.
That's good because now your first ball will be a good one. You know,
right?
Got all the bad ones out of the way.
Right. So now I'm a little shaky.
You know what? Do you know what works for me? Which I think is probably terrible advice. I don't know anything about a proper golf swing, but what always works for me when I'm hitting it poorly is if I completely loosen up my body and think about swinging a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Just like bent over. Yeah, and I have a motion more like a baseball bat than a golf swing. It feels so much more fluid and loose, and I can hit it so much better.
I mean, I think there is something to that for sure. That we massively overthink golf swings, and we forget what it feels like just to swing an object and hit something the way our instincts would tell us to do. So
swing it like a baseball bat.
And honestly, you know what? That is truly after about 9 to 18 holes, and this weekend has I think 90 holes in it. Once I get that first 18 out of the way, I'm doing that. If things aren't working, I'm cracking open beers. I'm swinging like a baseball bat, and then I start playing a little bit better. So you're right. That's what I'm telling you. So I need to do that right from the start instead of being all nervous.
Yeah. So hit it long, hit it far, hit it straight, hit it like a baseball.
Okay. Good. Straights. I don't care the other stuff. If I just hit it straight, stay out of the woods, it can be a fun weekend. If I'm all over the place, then it's not. All right. Well, that's what I'll do. I'll report back. Be back on Tuesday. Well, I'll be back before Tuesday, but we'll be back on Tuesday for another normal week, I think. And that's it. Hope everyone enjoys their weekend. Anything else, Doug? Thursday plans lined up?
No, I'm leaving. I'm catching a flight at 6:00 in the morning, so to go to Portland, Maine. So I'm gonna low key tonight.
Okay. And what's in Portland, Maine? What are you doing there? Sort of hippie festival or something?
Exactly. Yep. It's actually called the Hippie Festival.
What is it? What are you really doing there?
I'm going for a wedding.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. I remember that. You said that.
Going solo without the fam.
So you're gonna have thirsty all weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a thirsty weekend for sure. Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, best to take it easy tonight then. Keep yourself under that 14 drinks per week.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Sounds good. Enjoy your weekend,
everyone.
Doug, and everyone else. We'll be back Tuesday.
All right. See ya.
All right.